Hi Prof, my name is Wendy and I'm going to talk about the effectiveness of Google Docs in teaching collaborative writing to ESL learners. So the contents today include problem statement, research objectives, research questions, research hypothesis, theoretical framework, conceptual framework, research methodology, types of variables, sample of the study, instruments, and one extra one, which is data analysis. Let's go. So, the first problem that I found was during the pandemic, students are learning online. According to Ramos et al. In 2020 in OECD, there is no pre-configured playbook to provide suitable responses for educators. Hence, learning online is adaptive and transformative challenge. In other words, teachers, students, schools, they are not equipped with a specific tool, a specific curriculum to help in online learning. So a lot of times, teachers, students, they are very unsure of the things that they are supposed to do and which are the most effective ways of learning. Second problem is to do with writing. Writing poses a big challenge, especially for ESL learners. According to Sarah Vanan et al. 2021, word choice, vocabulary, grammar, and poor organization of ideas are the main issues faced by students in the classroom. So students have been struggling with writing for quite some time. Now, third one, amid the COVID-19 pandemic, students are very much alone in their journey of learning because they have limited resources and interaction. So when students are doing distant learning or home-based learning, PDPR, most times students are doing it alone, by themselves, at home. So with this, Lee 2018 actually commented on the effectiveness of computer-mediated collaborative writing as students get to negotiate meetings and make joint decisions. In other words, when students use technology, use these tools to connect with their friends, they actually get to have better construct of meanings. So, let's have a look at the research objective. There are three main research objectives. First one being to determine if there is a significant difference in the achievement between collaborative writing and individual writing in Google Docs. Second, to determine if there is a significant difference in the engagement between collaborative and individual writing in Google Docs. Thirdly, to determine if there is a significant difference in the motivation between collaborative writing and individual writing in Google Docs. In other words, we are looking at achievement, engagement, and motivation. For the research questions, is there any significant difference in the achievement between collaborative writing and individual writing in Google Docs? Second, is there any significant difference in the engagement between collaborative and individual writing in Google Docs? Thirdly, is there any significant difference in the motivation between collaborative writing and individual writing in Google Docs? Now, let's have a look at the research hypothesis. There is no significant difference in the achievement between the two. Second one, there is no significant difference in the engagement between the two. Thirdly, there is no significant difference in the motivation between the two. After looking at the RO, RQ, RH, let's have a look at the theoretical framework. The theoretical framework for this research based mainly on social cultural theory. This is first introduced by Vygotsky in 1979. Vygotsky believed that learning through participation, interaction, and community of practice is best. So Vygotsky believed that when students are learning together in a group of friends, they actually get to interact more, they actually get to participate more. Under the social cultural theory, we can have a look at the revision behavior. So according to Lee 2018, students' behavior on recursive developing joint text via mutual scaffolding is actually it improves with social cultural theory. It improves with scaffolding. So Lee believed that when students are learning together, scaffolding each other, like helping each other, students get to construct better meanings. They get to construct joint texts that are more accurate, more efficient. Similarly, Lee has also done a previous research in 2013 on online discussion. Lee found that students' language is used as a mediating tool and language function. So when students are discussing with their friends, the language itself is used as a tool to mediate and negotiate meaning. Secondly, the theoretical framework for this research paper also stems from the monitor model first introduced by Krashen in 1977. So there are 5 main hypotheses in the monitor model, and the hypothesis that we're kind of focus on is to do with affective filter hypothesis, whereby Krashen believed that learning can only be optimal when there is low affective filter, like embarrassment, shyness, and many more. Under affective filter, we talked about engagement. Campbell, 2019, stated that technology provides learners with authentic purpose for writing. In Campbell's research, Campbell found that students, when they use online tools, they find that it is more engaging because it's more authentic. It's like they are doing it not without purpose. In their mind, the tools online are real world. The tools online can be used in the future. So they have a higher engagement when they use technology. Next, under affective filter also is to do with motivation. Fada, 2019, believed that to cultivate online learner autonomy, motivation is used because it refers to the belief related to one's perceived ability to perform learning tasks successfully. So when students are able to do this task successfully, it will increase the learner autonomy, hence increasing the motivation as well. So understanding the theoretical framework, let's have a look at the conceptual framework. Over here, the IV is to do with collaborative writing using Google Documents. So using this as an IV, we're going to look into first DV, motivation, second DV, engagement, and final DV, achievement. Let's have a look at the research methodology. The research methodology here uses a quasi-experimental research. So what we're going to do is first we're going to collect data, a pre-test collection, right? The pre-test collection would include the writing assessment and also a survey on the students or the learners' engagement and motivation. Then we're going to go into 10 weeks of intervention and control. So the intervention group would receive instructions on collaborative writing using Google Documents. And for the control group, they will be receiving individual writing assignments using Google Documents. So after 10 weeks, there will be another data collection phase whereby the post-test results will be collected. So students will be assessed again based on their writing achievement, and then the survey will be collected again for the motivation and also engagement. Finally, the data will be analyzed and the results and findings will be concluded. So the types of variable here, there are a few. The first one is the IV, which is collaborative writing using Google Documents. DV would include writing achievement. The writing achievement would be scored using the UEC scoring rubrics because students are using the UEC exam format. Next DV is to do with engagement. The instrument is adapted from Zainuddin et al. 2020. And finally, the last DV is to do with motivation in learning adapted from Woodridge and Fan 2017. Alright, so let me give a little bit of the background of the sample of the study. So the students that will be participating in the study would be students from Chinese Independent High School. This is because we use a purposive sampling. According to Gay et al. 2011, right, this is a criterion sampling because we want the students that are of the same level, right? So the students would be of 17-year-old students, and these students, they will be taken from groups that are almost similar in their English achievement. Yeah. So the CFR level would be around B1 and B2. 30 respondents will be selected for the intervention group and 30 respondents for the control group. Now, let's talk about the instruments of the study. So the first instrument is to do with the writing achievement, as students are from Chinese Independent High School. they will be marked or graded according to the UEC marking rubrics, whereby a 5-paragraph factual essay of not less than 350 words are given. For the pre-test, the question will be advantages and disadvantages of the internet. Post-test will be advantages and disadvantages of social media. So the reason for the pre-test and post-test being selected is because the topics are pretty similar, right? A lot of the points can be utilized, for both essays. The students will be scored according to content, 15 marks, organization 8, and language 12 marks. For the following instruments, we have the questionnaire or the survey. So the questionnaire will be a 20-question questionnaire, 20 question survey. First 10 will be to do with the engagement. So there will be a 10-point Likert scale questionnaire adapted from Zainuddin et al. 2020. And the second half of the survey will be motivation in learning, which is a 10-point Likert scale questionnaire adapted from Woodridge and Fan 2017. So after all this, I'm going to talk about the data analysis. This one is extra for the results and findings. So for the writing achievement, I plan to use a t-test to compare the means between two groups. For the engagement and motivation in learning, from my reading, I found that the one-way ANOVA test to compare the means of two independent groups are most suitable. So that's the end of my presentation, and I actually have 2 questions for Prof. The first question is, I am not really sure which is the best data analysis to use. Based on the reading from Prof's ebooks, I find that I can use t-test for writing achievement and one-way ANOVA for the engagement and motivation, but I'm not so sure if it is the correct data analysis. Secondly, can the research methodology be explained using the graph? Like what other information is needed other than data collection or analysis part? So this is more of a feedback for my research methodology. So that's the end of my presentation. I hope that Prof can give me some valuable feedback. And I'm so sorry I'm not able to make it that day because I was really sick. Thank you, Prof, for your understanding, and I wish you a good day.